In today's media landscape, where stories are visually driven, where people are communicating through imagery, where this language is heightened and the visual literacy across the board is insane.
So crazy. Because the one thing I think that we both agree upon is that when it comes to visualization, well, two things actually. One is that not all visuals work for every medium, so I come from a broadcast TV eyes as opposed to ears like you background, so that doesn't translate for the web directly. And also being in conversations for visuals that are specifically for digital platforms, but being there at the beginning, not like we have this story and now like make something for it later.
Right.
But when the idea is there and bubbling up and processing,
right.
Like, we should be there in those conversations, helping to drive what that will look like and build that story.
I feel like with every sort of new project or venture or anything digital, someone in the room should be like, wait, where was our visual expert? Where did he or she go? And we need them in the chair. We need to think about it before we start reporting. We need to think about it after we're reporting. We need to think about it when we're designing and making. Because it's audience serving, because the audience is gonna demand it, and because they recognize inferior visual quality. They recognize when stories aren't being considered.
I think the audience definitely, it's really funny because I think on certain platforms, they'll accept crappy videos, like on YouTube where you're like, oh, I don't know what the quality's gonna be, and like somebody pulled this VHS tape from 1977 and like recorded on their cell phone.
Right.
But when they're coming to a news organization, I don't think they want it to look like that. I think they want it to look good, to be polished, but not in a TV kind of way, in a way that's very, I don't know, authentic to like the digital space and like a way of understanding and telling that story. And I think the other thing that happens is people who are in our business and don't necessarily have any visual kind of background, we sort of have to be the ambassadors for ourselves and for our platform to bring people in. They're so either nervous or don't understand or just generally like don't care.
Yeah.
But it's how we're all getting paid.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, part of it is sort of spreading the gospel of the visual language, because I think a lot of people love visuals and they want them, but they don't know how to talk about them, or they don't know, they're a little intimidated because they feel like they're not experts in it. And if we could be like, hey guys, like a lot of what I do is visual training around the literacy and the language and the grammar and what's the visual foundation and how we can at least come to a place where we understand a semblance of the language together and then start from there. And so part of it is just bringing people into the fold.
Yes.
Right? Saying, we're not trying to hold on and hoard our expertise.
No. Because I think we all have to know it, because just sort of the way the business is going, not the way, the business is there. So I shouldn't even say that.
The audience is there.
The audience is there. Is that we're all gonna have to know how to learn how to do this stuff anyway.
Right.
And at some point you will be asked to do this, and like we will be working for a long time. So we need to like get everybody on board and let them have, like you were saying, a literacy and an understanding of what's good, what's right, and then still let them know they can still bring those creative sensibilities.
Right.
Like we work together. It's not like this is over here and this is over here. Like this is the print version and like this is the video package, or even like the photos, or how we're gonna bring this together, and it comes together and it feels all disjointed.
Right.
You wouldn't make soup that way.
That would not be a good
That
soup.
would not be good. There's a recipe. There's an algorithm.
Well, I mean, what are some of the things that you are excited about with where we're going in visuals?
I am excited about, it's so weird because I think about that when I was little, like watching the Jetsons and like those old Hanna-Barbera cartoons, and you're just like, oh, that would be so cool if like you could watch TV anywhere, you could watch video anywhere. And now we're here, like it doesn't, I don't have a Rosie, so that's lame, but just how we're seeing it and the fact that it's possible and in such a very brief period of time. We're in 2015. If you even think back to 2010.
Right. Oh, the projects we did back then.
Yes.
I don't even want to open them.
Right?
Yeah.
And the fact that you couldn't even watch them on the subway, or like would they even load on the phone? Like I feel
Right.
like most people were still carrying dumb phones and stuff. It's so great, and people are using also all these fun platforms like Vine. Has some hilarious stuff on it, and it could be like another way to tell a story or be a tool in storytelling.
Yeah.
So I like that we're here. We've arrived.
Well, yeah, and there's still so much more to do. I mean, I feel like one of the things that excites me is making things of the web. This is something our team talks about a lot, and not putting things on the web. So really integrating different media and different assets, and integrating images and data and text, and creating an experience that you can't create anywhere else. You can't create that in a magazine. You can't create it in a packaged video. Like, it really utilizes everything that the web has to offer in order for that story to be what it needs to be. And I feel like we haven't even, I mean, we've barely scratched the surface on that, and that's really, really exciting.
And I feel like great stories will be great stories. Does that make sense? And I think,
Yeah.
like, we can get pretty pictures from anywhere. Like, look at, someplace like Instagram or whatever. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a great story. And I think, first and foremost, before visual anything, before you've written a word, before a tweet has been sent out, we're in the business of storytelling. And, like, that's what I care about.
Yeah.
Like those super great stories.
Yeah. You're awesome.
You are awesome. Bye, bitch.